Hi, my name is Jennifer. Welcome to my channel, Narc Shield. I am so glad to have you back here. If you haven't ever been here before, or you have and you haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button and hit that little bell so that you will be notified when I have new videos. I really do appreciate it because it does help my channel to thrive, and I really am happy to be here to do this journey along with you. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate you and want you to know that. So in my last video, I let you know that I would be talking to you about whether you should tell the narcissist that they are a narcissist. And my answer to that is no. Because you are putting yourself in danger when you do that. You're definitely going to be devalued at that point. That is ripping the mask off. And a narcissist has a false self. And basically, they hang out with lots of different people and they pick up different traits of different people. They steal ideas. They take on accomplishments that other people have done and they make it sound like they have done them. They steal people's jokes. They steal people's identities. They will dress like that person. They do all kinds of things because they're empty. They really don't know who they are. They are this shell of a person. And so what they do is each and every day, they're going out and they're collecting all this narcissistic supply to make up the false self. And if you come in, or anybody for that matter comes in and tells them what they are, or if you even suggest that you think they might be that, even if you are a person who is the best well-meaning person ever, like you may just want to help that person, you are putting yourself in a very bad position. Where the narcissist can be quite benevolent when you are in the idealization phase, the love bombing phase, the golden period, whatever you want to call it, they can come quite malevolent when you have given them a narcissistic injury, and that is when you're going to see the nasty side of them. And depending on what type of narcissist they are, depends on how they're going to go about doing it. So let's just say there are just so many different tactics that they use. And I talk about that in my channel, and you will also hear about the different tactics that they use in other channels. And in my last video, I talked about the silent treatment. When you are accusing them of being a narcissist, they're just going to turn it around and call you the narcissist, and they're going to pick out anything and everything they can about you to try to make that hold. And then they're going to go out behind your back, and I don't care if you make up 5 minutes later, they don't care. They are out there telling everybody else what a horrible, nasty narcissist you are as well, and they're going to feed into that with other people. They may tell real stories of things that you've done and dress it up. They may actually tell stories of things that they've actually done. And it's really easy for them to lie because these things actually happened. It's just that they switched the way the players played within their story. And so they tell these stories of all these horrible things that you have done when really it's things that they have done. And people can believe it because they're emotionally invested in it. They're like telling it, because they were actually there when it was happening. It's just that they were doing it. And so they're able to act out and mirror back to these people and project exactly how you acted, but they're pretending that it was them and that they were scared or sad or whatever it is. And it becomes really believable for the flying monkeys or the minions, that they have around them to believe that story, and then you are smeared. That is another tactic that they use, is that smear campaign. So when you are thinking that you are going to get something out of this, what are you looking for? So what satisfaction are you looking for? Because you're not going to get it from them. They're just going to blame you. You're not going to be able to reason with them and have them see what they are doing to you, because you in their eyes are the one that is the problem in the relationship. They don't accept accountability. They are unable to self-reflect and sit back and think about things and how they could have done things differently. They don't do that. It's all about you. And even if they did for a half a second, they are going to know. The narcissistic personality part of them, it comes out and protects them, protects the vulnerable part of them, because the vulnerable self to a narcissist is weak. That's a sign of weakness, and that is not superior. And so the narcissist has to be superior and different than everybody else, and that is the way they see themselves, and they need other people to see themselves that way as well. Now, you may want to go out and also defend yourself and go out and want to plead your case to other people that the narcissist has gotten a hold of. And these people may recognize that the narcissist is the way that they are, but they're afraid of the narcissist too, because they've seen the malevolence of the narcissist and how other people can be treated and kicked out of the group, basically, or whatever it is that may happen. And they don't want the repercussions of that. So they would rather just stay out of it. And so you find yourself being quite alone, even with the people who do see it. And in the narcissist mind, they don't see it. You can tell them that. You can sit there and say, everybody sees it. Everybody knows that you're really like that. They're just too scared to tell you. They're not going to believe you. They believe that the other people see them as superior and you as the crazy one, because that's how they've been trying to set it up once you went and tried to rip that mask off of them. So, and then the people who are just the flying monkeys that just want to believe the narcissist, they could be trauma bonded, or they just don't hang out with them enough, so they never see that side of them. They're not going to believe you. You're really wasting your energy trying to convince people that the narcissist is a basic narcissist, somebody that is just not a very nice person. You're really wasting your time. The best thing you can do is figure out what you are going to do. Are you going to stay in the relationship? What are you going to do to try to make things better for you? And the best thing that you can do is just not react to the manipulative tactics of the narcissist. It's really difficult, I know, especially when you love somebody. You want to work things out with them. But listen, a narcissist doesn't believe that you love them. I don't care what you say or what you do. They don't believe you. And that is because they don't believe in that. They have magical thinking, and they believe, they believe that infatuation is love. But because they don't really feel those things, and they lie and manipulate all the time, they really believe that everybody else is the same way. They don't realize that they are different than most people. They really don't. You could tell them until you're blue in the face. They don't see it. They really believe that the way they are, and because they do certain things and that they know it's nasty deep down, they're like, oh, you know what? Everybody's like that. So I know you're lying to me. And that's how they look at you. They look at you as someone who is a liar and a thief and a betrayer. And that's because they are projecting back onto you what they see in themselves. It's like a movie, and you're the screen, and they are looking at the screen, and they are projecting that movie of themselves right onto you. And that is what they see. That's what's ingrained into their brain. They may not understand that. Please understand that many and most narcissistic people do not see it. That is why they don't go and get therapy. If they did, and they could see it, and they stayed in the therapy, and they did what they were supposed to, they would have a chance of getting a lot better. But because they can't see it, they don't go to therapy for that, and they certainly don't stay in therapy very long, and many of them don't even believe in therapy. So there's so many narcissists out there, but because they don't normally seek treatment, we really don't know exactly how many there are, but there are a ton of narcissists, and we're only going to see more and more and more of this because of the way that we are raising kids and that kind of thing, and just the society as a whole. Anyway, everything is just it's a world of right now. I want it right now, and I've got it right now. So You know, you are spinning your wheels. You really don't need to tell them. And if you do, your relationship is doomed anyway, because you've ripped the mask off. And that is when if you're not already being devalued for something else, that is definitely when the devaluation process starts, and you'll never get back to that period of where you felt like they treated you so wonderful, like a princess or a prince. And you are fighting constantly to try to get back to that. And it's really sad. They know that you'll do that. They know that you believe in hope. They know that you're very forgiving, and they exploit that, and they use it against you. They use all that goodness against you and exploit it for their own good, because it makes them feel better. And even if they understand that, they can't help themselves. They need the contrast. So if you stay with a person like that, you have to accept them for exactly who they are. And they may say that to you. They feel you have to love me for who I am, and the same rules don't apply. And you would have to accept that. Can you? Can you risk losing who you are and your light dimming and your sparkle going away so that that person can shine to some degree on the outside world? Can you do that? Is it worth it? I wouldn't tell them that they're a narcissist. You could actually put yourself in danger. If some of these relationships, there's domestic violence. You are causing a narcissistic injury, and it can cause a narcissistic rage. And a narcissist, the one thing that they can't handle is their mask being torn off of them, and people knowing that they're really not who they've been saying that they are. And so you are a major threat. So depending on what that threat is, they literally can go into psychosis, and you could be putting yourself in harm's way. Your life could be in danger, and not even realize that that's what's going on with you. And I've talked about that before in other videos when I talk about like Snapped and, shows like that. But that's when that kind of stuff happens, because they can't risk that. They can't risk you exposing them. And so you become the betrayer and the worst person, and you are painted black. And you could stay painted black for a really long time. Eventually, the narcissist may reset and see you back in white. But honestly, is that how you really want to live? People say, well, if I decide I want to stay with the narcissist, can we go into therapy and make it work? People stay married for a really long time. Some people with a narcissistic person, but your life isn't going to be that picket fence life that you want it to be behind closed doors, and maybe even on the outside people can see it. It's going to be a very unbalanced relationship and very toxic. You cannot love somebody out of being narcissistic. I wish I could tell you that you could, but you cannot. So some narcissists are aware of the fact that they are highly narcissistic or a narcissist. It's a matter of, do they want to change? It's a lot of hard work. Do they want to go in and admit that, they've been a lot of the cause of a lot of the problems in their intimate relationships with people, and why things don't work out with them? They don't want to see themselves as a bad person. Nobody does. And it's quite unfortunate, because if they could see it, they could get that help. Most of the time when they do and go and get help, it's because they went in for something else, or they were mandated to do so. So maybe they've gotten in some trouble and the judge has sent them to get that help, and so they have to do it. And, I actually think that could be a good thing, because then they might actually learn something about themselves. And maybe it could bring some awareness and help them with their interpersonal relationships. Honestly, I'm a big person that has a lot of hope, and I don't hate anybody. So, I don't like certain things that people do. And I've definitely been hurt in narcissistic relationships or by narcissistic people for sure. And, but I am one of those people who are very forgiving, and I have tons of hope. And, you know, when I bring awareness, I bring awareness for victims of narcissistic abuse and survivors. But hey, you know what? If a narcissist sees, you know, my channel, or they think they're a narcissist, I've said this before, and it brings some insight and they are able to get some healing done, because they are very sad people. They have a lot. It's you might not see that, but they're unhappy and they're unsettled, and they are always anxious and, you know, just really unsettled. And so if it brings some kind of awareness and they're able to get some help that way, then you know what? Hey, I'm all about, you know, whoever it helps. Again, I'm not out to hurt I don't want to hurt anybody. And I know that a narcissist might hear me and be like, I hate her, and feel that way because it would be a narcissistic injury. But honestly, I don't get on here and try to target anybody. As a matter of fact, any relationship that I've ever been in, I still care, you know, a lot about those people, whether they were narcissistic or not, in my lifetime. So I get really annoyed when people try to figure out who I'm talking about. And I've even had people think I was talking about them, and I wasn't. And honestly, I think it's because maybe something resonated with them. And so I might say something like that. Well, you know, and narcissists, they, a lot of them use the same tactics. And so things can ring kind of true. Like, oh my gosh, you know, that story sounds like me. And they say that, you know, it's like narcissists wrote the same book and read the same book, and they all act the same way, but there are some differences. And so, because there are different types of narcissist. But anyway, so if it brings awareness to a narcissist, then I am happy that happened. And, you know, yeah, I guess I'm the one who's calling it out, and at least it's not a partner who is getting painted black. I guess I'll just take that and I'll be painted black. But I mean well for everybody. I care about everybody. So should you tell someone that they're a narcissist, I wouldn't recommend going to your narcissist at home and saying, you know, if you're in a relationship with them, close personal relationship, and saying you're a narcissist. You are causing yourself a lot of harm. It is not going to do you any good. And you will be the one who's crying yourself to sleep, and maybe continuously crying, because that is causing a major narcissistic injury, and it could cause a narcissistic rage and put your life in danger. So I hope that helped answer that question. And until next time, this is Jennifer, and I hope that you will like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I look forward to seeing you. Bye.